host who will moderate is going to be Mr. Armando Rimilia from Arua 1, a radio station under the Vision Group. We are also privileged to have a number of other VIPs. May I request you, sir, to take the appropriate position of the moderator. Today we also have with us ministers from the region. Honorable Anita Evelyn is here, Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance. We have Honorable Olero Huda, Minister of State in the Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs. Honorable Fiona Nyamutoro, Minister of State in the Ministry of Energy. We have the area member of parliament and also the regional whip of NRM in West Nile, Honorable Atima Jackson. We are joined also by Honorable Dombo Emmanuel, the Director of Communication at the NRM Secretariat. In addition, we are joined by two young people. One is your young daughter, Lenia, who nominated or seconded your nomination the other day. She is the NRM flag bearer for MP for a county. We are also joined by another young son of yours, Mr. Dangote. Dangote was a student leader. Both of them were student leaders, but they have now graduated. Dangote now is the NRM flag bearer for Mayor Arua City. We are also joined by Mr. Badafred, in case we need any translation in the language understood majorly in the greater Arua. Is also here. So, Mzee, without taking much time, may I now invite you all directly to the moderator. It is going to be an interactive session. Mr. Moderator, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Government Chief Whip and the National Vice Chair, NRM Northern Region. Your Excellency, welcome you to West Nile. The people are very eager to listen to you this night. Once again, my name is Rimelia Mandu. I'm a host at Arua 1 FM and the Vision Group of companies. We have other colleague journalists as well, sir. And just to start with, usually in many of your rallies, your opponent will say, they shall be known by their fruits. And people of West Nile particularly are very eager to hear the fruits of NRM in not only 2026, but also from the previous years where the NRM has asked the mandate of the people to have them lead as the elections come. And so in 2021, when NRM asked for the mandate of the people of Uganda to lead for the 5 years coming 2026, the key slogan was secure your future. You have been moving across, and to what extent would you say this promise of securing the future has been achieved in the last 5 years?
Well, hello. When NRM took over government, the politics had collapsed. There had been no proper political participation for ever since independence, actually. Security had collapsed, and so had the economy. As we speak today, all of that has been fixed. And when I addressed Ugandans about independence, and a number of times, I pointed out the 5 phases for the economy. The minimum economic recovery, where we brought back the coffee, the 3 C's and 3 T's. expansion of that small economy, more coffee, more tea, more tourism. Then diversifying, bringing in new products. If you look at the exports of Uganda now, I think it must be like 13 billion now. You check the exports. You check how much Uganda was exporting in 1986. It was not even, I don't think it was even 500 million. But now I think the exports must have hit about $13 billion. Then some value addition, which is beginning, and the knowledge economy, the economy of making, based on science, vaccines, making vehicles, computers, and so on. So, you must be blind if you don't see what huge changes have taken place. The economy now is, by June next year, will be almost $67 billion from 3.9 billion in 1986. So there's been a big change for sure. But I have guided and shown these people that we can take a qualitative leap, because we have now achieved the lower middle income status. But we can jump and go to high middle income status or even first world economy. So it is protecting the gains, but also leaping forward to a modern level. So that's why we are, and in order to do that, that's why I'm telling you, first of all, everybody must go to school and stay there. So that's why we talk of free education, because you cannot modernize. If you see the children who are taking the skilling hubs, they are children who had been thrown away by the system. When I was in Moyo today, one of them stopped in P1, the ones who gave witness. Another one was P7, another one. So this system of blocking children from studying for 14 years must stop. Must stop. The people who are behind it must stop. Because they are really, if children don't study, then how would you modernize? We are engaged in ignorance conservation. Uganda is famous for conservation. We have got national parks and so on. But now we are also targeting another conservation, to conserve ignorance. Why? How can children go out of school? Why? I've been trying to talk politely to head teachers, foundation bodies. There's a group called PTA. But to modernize, every child must go to school and stay there. Then secondly, everybody must be involved in wealth creation, either as an owner or as a worker. So if the two channels, prosperity for all, that's what we are, these are not new slogans. We were, even in the past, prosperity for all. Everybody to be involved in commercial activities on one side, but the other side, education for all. Then we shall take off. We have already moved. We are very strong economy now you can see everything is made here. You who drink alcohol, I can feed all of you whatever you want. All the alcohol. The ones of sodas, those ones, they can't complain. Sugar, cement, mitahimbwa. That's how you judge the economy. How else do you judge the economy? All of those are being made here. Soap, what? Plus the big thing now, vehicles. How can you not see that this is a big change?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Periodically, you move across the country, West Nile inclusive. And so, as you've been touring West Nile on these campaign rallies, what was the most impressive thing over this year that you see in the lives of the people, but also across the rallies as you address the people? What would you say has been the most impressive thing?
The people in West Nile, but also in other parts,
Yes, sir.
they have come to understand the NRM better. Because initially there was a lot of confusion and skepticism. And people were right. Because the leaders were either uninformed or dishonest. But I think more uninformed. But when the NRM came talking the way we were talking, the 10 points program, the 4 principles, patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, I think people initially didn't believe that what was saying could be done. I think they were thinking that we are also liars like all the others. But now they have seen the peace, they have seen the developments, they have seen the wealth creation, they have seen the schools, the health centers. If you look at a district like Yumbe, when we gave them a district, there were 100,000 people, 100,000. Now they are 1 million. So how has the population increased? Because of health, because of immunization. Obongi, there used to be about 20,000. Now in the other census, there were 142,000. Why? What has the population gone up? Same with Karamoja. When I went to campaign for UPM in Karamoja, in 1980, Karamoja had only 190,000 people. Now there are more than 1.5 million. So, because of minimum health, not even too much, but immunization, just immunization. Already you can see the impact. Population has gone up, life expectancy has gone up. In the past, you fellows, you are dying at 43. That's why when I was in my 30, they started calling me Museveni, because they thought I was about to die. Because people were dying early. Because when I was training my soldiers in Mozambique, the people I was training were like 16, 18. And that time I was like 30, 32. So they will see me as a big old man. And know that I was about to go to heaven. But now life expectancy has now gone to 68. 68 years. So big changes are already happening, but we are going to change society completely with where we are when we talk of the taking qualitative leap, but especially through education for all and prosperity for all. These two channels, you have a new society.
Yes, Your Excellency, I am speaking to you. I'm a product of the UPE. And I fondly remember...
Because you can imagine, take a man like Amos Kabuta. Amos Kabuta was a traditional man, a cattle keeper. But by just educating his children, now the Kabuta group are a modern family. They are no longer traditional now. They are middle class. If you go to the Kabutas, you will not find a traditional anymore. Through the two channels, education and economy, money economy. The first time Mr. Kabuta joined the money economy was 1989, when he started selling milk. I think by that time he was like 70 years old. The man who was born 1916 was outside the money economy. How we say in Luo, I speak more actually because the actuaries have been making more trouble. So the teach, may each keken, working only for the stomach. How do you say it in Lugubar? Working only for the stomach.
Azingazo Aleni.
That one. So Mr. Kabuta was only working for the stomach until 1989, when we brought milk coolers, and they started selling milk as a business. But he had already moved on with the education of the children. So with the two channels, even by the time he died, although he was already a middle-class man, traveling in cars, using the electricity in his house, using water, piped water. The families can change very quickly, become modern. Okay?
Sir, the example I was bringing about the UPE is about how it brought hope to many people, including myself and many other children of Uganda. You often speak about diagnosis. Today, when you speak about the UPE, there seems to be other, the hope that we had in 1997 when we went to school from the UPE doesn't seem to be the same hope that we had by then.
Because for you studied free.
Yes, sir.
Yes. That's how it started. You who started studying free, then these people started bringing money back. Of course, I have never agreed with them, but also I have never fought them. At one time, we even passed a law making it illegal to charge money. There was a law passed in Parliament with my request, but it was not implemented. Because at that time we had so many problems. the war with Sudan, going, what, so many things. So sometimes because of so many things, we may go slow on some of the other areas. But also to give people time to see their mistake. So that's why I started this skilling hubs. Skilling hubs I started is a resistance. You know, I'm a member of the National Resistance Movement. A serious one. So when I see people playing games, I say, how do I resist? Either peacefully or violently. This time it is peaceful. So people were sabotaging free education. Using this, because in the school system, I am in partnership with so many people. Members of Parliament, DEO, district political leaders, PTA, foundation body, these are all there. Now, they don't accept my opinion. I don't know why, really. They don't accept. I say free education, they bring back money. You who studied first, you studied free for some years. Then they brought back. So that's why this time, I started this skilling hub. And you had the testimony of those people. Somebody who dropped out of P1 is now, I don't know what, carpenter and joiner or something. They were giving testimony in Moyo and in Obongi and everywhere. They're giving testimony. So now this is peaceful way. I'm now showing you, all of you people, you see what free education can do. So I hope this time we are going to have a convergence. They give the pretext, oh, they didn't have enough teachers. Why don't you come back and tell us? Why do you quickly go to hire your own private teachers and then start charging children money, and then they drop out of school? So it's part of the struggle, my young friend, it's part of the struggle. You know the other woman, our grandmother, Eva, caused us problems. When she messed up in the garden of Eden, and herself and her husband were thrown out. God threw them out. Then God cast us. From now on, whatever you eat will come from the sweat of your brow. So we are sweating. It's part of the sweating. This one is saying that this is part of the struggle. We are struggling, but I think now we shall enforce it really seriously because people have seen the mistakes. They have seen the mistakes, and my skilling hubs have shown that these children you had thrown away as not much, they are very useful. From within 6 months, you find they are doing things which the ones of the university cannot do. The university graduate cannot make a shoe or a chair or what, but these children can do it after 6 months. So I think now people will have less arguments about that issue.
Yes, thank you, Your Excellency. And when you were in Maracha, you witnessed for yourself when you spoke about first of all, the skilling hub, and later on you spoke about the PDM, and giving a warning that people who steal should better run to Congo or other places even before it's late for them. And the reaction of the crowd particularly, there seems to be some perceived or a gap in communication to the final person, to the wananchi, as expressed by the people, the reaction when you mentioned those two issues. What needs to be done to fix this gap?
It is just learning. You see, the people who come into leadership, they are coming from, many of them are coming from the school system. And the school system is still colonial. So they don't normally know how to relate with the wananchi. So when they go to a rally, they talk, but they don't know how to communicate with the wananchi. Now we take them to Chankwanzi and so on, but I don't know why they don't pick the issues of the masses. So that's how you see the disconnection. But as time goes on, they will learn. Because, for instance, the use of money, to give money to the public instead of showing them how to make their own money. I'm sure members of parliament are beginning to see that it's wrong. Because it's very terrible and it's very dangerous. Because it renders the members of parliament very financially disabled. So with time, they will understand how to be with the people. And it's very easy to be with the people. Like, for instance, I'm supposed to be campaigning, but may I use my campaigns to educate my people. So, like in the case of Malachi, don't you think that we reconnected with the population? Because they wanted to kill the other Kagar, the RDC.
The deputy RDC, sir.
Deputy.
Yes, sir.
That Kagar was almost killed. But I changed it around. I became the prosecutor. So I joined the people. And by the end of the day, the people were satisfied. And my auditor has come from Kampala. He's here. My auditor is there. We shall go for them. Somebody had started whispering to me that there are those who go to, initially that the first PDM money, the ones who are giving it out were not insisting on the 1 million. Okay, we shall see whether it was policy or stealing. But today we were in Moyo. You saw the woman who spoke on the screen. She said she had got 800,000. What had happened to the 20,000? I told,
Museveni, you left an assignment to be executed, which has been executed. I don't know whether with your permission I could report now or later.
Yes, report. So that these rumor mongers take it up.
Your Excellency, the lady in Moyo, her name is Dipio Agnes Santos. Her phone number is 0781 836670. She resides at Lama Village, Aluru Parish, Aluru Sub-County, Moyo District. And this is our story. In 2023, a meeting of the Paris PDM Circle was convened. In that meeting, the people were sensitized about PDM. Immediately after the meeting, an assessment was done by the Paris Circle leaders. And for her, 800,000 shillings was approved. Your Excellency, this was before Cabinet, through your guidance, took a position that each beneficiary of PDM should get 1 million shillings.
Okay.
Yes. Now, according to her, she received in December 2023 800,000 shillings in her phone. When she went to withdraw, she was charged 20,000 for withdrawal, and she received 780,000 Uganda shillings. I asked her whether anyone demanded to be given any share of the 780. She said no. I asked her whether she has already started paying. She also responded no. Now, her enterprise that she had selected was goat rearing. Out of 780,000, according to her, she bought 6 goats at the beginning. The 6 goats produced 21 goats, according to her. Now, out of the 21 goats, she sold 5 goats, and currently she has 16 goats. The proceeds of the 5 goats that she had sold were used, 1, to pay school fees, 2, she bought 4 local breed chicken, and currently now she has 20 chicken, according to her. She also bought 1 pig, which has now produced 8 piglets. Humble request is that she be helped with improved goat's breed. That is our story, Your Excellency, and I beg to report.
So in this case, it was still a police indecision. It was not. There was no stealing. At one time, they were saying, "Oh, we judge to give this one." The committee we should judge to what to give her. But when we came in, I said, "No, they must all get 1 million." Then there was the issue of the banks deducting on the 1 million. I stopped that one later. I said the bank charges must be paid by the government. So the government sends more money than 100 million, than 1 million per person. But part of it is to pay for the bank charges, so that the borrower gets 1 million. It is the government which pays the charge. Okay?
Thank you, Your Excellency. When you were ending the rally in Yumbe, with a very clear emphasis, you spoke about 4 also words: peace, you spoke about development, you spoke about wealth creation and jobs. 4 key issues with which you ended your, this is a community that you have engaged over time, from the periods of war now into the period of prosperity that you clearly spoke about. But then you also somewhere spoke about the differentiation between development and wealth creation. What needs to be done to ensure that this message reaches with the clarity you always spoke with?
The best way is some examples. If some people, for instance, when I look at the Ankole area, by 1959, when I came to Mbara High School from the village, all the Wanyankwele were, what do you call sleeping? In Rugubara.
Oduko.
They were Oduko. Asleep.
Iki Odua.
Hmm?
Odua.
Oh,
Asleep. Odua.
okay, back. Now, Uncle Eli is very rich with a lot of water, a lot of agricultural land, swamps, what? But people were just there, only working for the stomach. No money. There were a few families in what is now Bushenyi who were growing some coffee, and a few had started growing tea, also in Bushenyi, but not in Tungamo, for instance. And there was one Mkochi man who had Frisian cows, the one who supplied milk to Mbara High School and Tuntari. And then there was a government stock farm, they were calling it, like a model farm of the government. It's still there. That's all. But this is what we used to educate our people. In 1966, when I was moving around, I would always say, you people, haven't you seen they were calling the government farm, they were calling it the white man's farm. Farm Yumjung. Haven't you seen the white man's farm, how it is organized and so on? So examples will change these people. They will learn. And I can see there are a number of examples already. Like DPO, the one who interacted with Obua. You can see how they quickly, a goat, one goat, now 20 goats. Then pig, many pigs. Then chicken. People will wake up. Examples will influence them. The cattle corridor have already changed totally. Although they still have some gaps, but they have really moved.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Areas like Karanga have moved because of palm oil. You go to individual cocoa, coffee. Mukono area, some cocoa. So there are patches of Masaka coffee, a lot of coffee. My area, Exozi, coffee, different enterprises. So people, this Noya in Acholi, it has got a lot of modern things, modern farmers there. They are very, very, from the air I could see.
Thank you, Your Excellency. You continuously educate about Pan-Africanism, a very key principle of the NRM. And West Nile is, the location is next to the Congo, but also South Sudan, with the hosting of the refugees as well. And so there is a lot of interaction. The young people who may not have had as much life experiences may probably not understand why this aspect of Pan-Africanism is very key. For someone who has missed your messages, what is the key essence of the Pan-Africanism principle?
Pan-Africanism is cleverness. A clever man knows what will help him. Because me, I am a wealth creator. From birth, by the age of 4, I was looking after cows. So, I always looking at the whole thing from emotional side, but also from the economic side. I want people who can buy my milk, buy my beef, buy my bananas, so that I become prosperous. Now, the Wanyankole don't buy my milk because they have their own milk. They don't buy my beef. They don't buy my bananas. So when you come to me and say, who has Banyankole? Who has Banyankole? Who has Banyankole? I tell you straight away, Satan, go away. Because you are diverting me. The people who buy my beef, who buy my milk, who buy my bananas, are people of Kampala. Mainly non-Wanyankole. So that's why NLM said, you people love Uganda because you need it for your own good. But if you examine carefully, even the internal market is not enough. So we need the regional market. And how will you get the regional market if you do not promote Pan-Africanism? You check here in Arua, how much business is going to South Sudan? How much are the South Sudanese buying from us, from our people here? It must be a lot. So Pan-Africanism is cleverness. How to ensure a market for our products and the products of our brothers. It is economics. Okay?
Yes, Your Excellency. You spoke about rumors, and you clearly told the people this whole thing should not be about political actors who come and they just spreading rumors, and some who, like you just said, they are saying oye and oye and oye, but the key message doesn't come out clearly. Going forward into the election of 2026, 2031 rather, what would you like the people of the region, because many political actors are going to come, 8 candidates across board. What key issue would you like the people of West Nile to pick, apart from what you have already mentioned, so that they give the mandate to the NRM come 2026, 2031?
No, they pick free education for our children in government schools. They pick household incomes, commercial income. Because I've been flying over, I see these Western Nile people grow a lot of cassava, which is good. Because cassava is a food, but it also has got cash. With Archbishop Odama, we have a project of cassava in the Achoi area, where we are making starch out of cassava, and also making ethanol out of cassava. So cassava is good, both food and commercial. But I want them to add coffee, to add cocoa. And I don't know why they don't look at cows. especially the dairy cow, they will get a lot of money. And the fish farming. I'm going to organize fish farming for them. And then, that's for agriculture. Now, people in Moyo were demanding from Anite, I think even the one of Yombe yesterday, so industrial park. But industrial park of an area must be based on the resources of the area. Like if you see the industrial parks in Bara, they are around milk, cheese, what. So in order to have a successful industrial park here, it must be there to process what the people are producing. Yes, cassava is one. Suppose they have coffee. Suppose they have fruits. Suppose they have milk, fish. Then the industrial parks, factories will now be processing this ones here. Not producing anything. What will the factories process?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Now, every time you go to a rally, the people give you requests. They request for infrastructure, they request for so many things. If it were the other way around, to say, you, Your Excellency, would say, next time I come to Westnile, I would like to see A, B, C, D, that you people, just as you ask me, I'm also asking that you do A, B, C, D when you come back to Westnile, probably after the 2026 elections.
Well, but that's what I tell them. Although I don't give them as an order, but those videos I show them the forest creation, I'm telling them that's what I'm doing actually. Saying yes, I am doing the road, but you also you do the homestead income. That's my message to them. I'm tasking them by educating them.
One key issue which was raised in the NRI manifesto of 2021 was about the political federation. We have seen the East African community expand to include other countries, DR Congo, Somalia, South Sudan coming in. And so in the next term, can Ugandans, but also their neighbors, have an assurance of the political federation?
We are also discussing with our neighbors one of the principles we are discussing, the one they call variable geometry, whereby in case all the other members are not ready, those who are ready move forward. So this is what we are going to discuss. There is election in Tanzania, Samia, the election is here. After that, we shall have to meet. We have already been meeting, but we shall meet again. And the issue of federation is for the future of you people.
Thank you, sir.
Me, I will be in heaven by that time. But you people,
We're praying for your health, sir.
to deal with the economy, business. Because if people don't have a market, how will they produce? If you look at Latin America has got a lot of natural resources, even more than the USA. But USA is very prosperous because they have got a huge market. If I have got a business in New York, I produce a product, they sell it all the way up to California. How would I fail? If I was in America, I would be a billionaire by now. But here, sometimes my milk can't go to Rwanda or Tanzania or Kenya. Yes, sometimes it goes and it doesn't. So we need to make it easy for our wealth creators to create more wealth, more wealth, more wealth. And federation is the answer. Because federation, that means you become one unit. Like Westnile now is part of Uganda. So you cannot put a tax point at Pakwach. We shall not allow you. So the product can move from Kabale all the way to Oraba without paying tax. And that helps the business. Okay.
Thank you, Excellency. Perhaps lastly, from this point, ICT forms a very key backbone for the young people, for today, but also for tomorrow. A lot of innovators, you have spoken about this quite extensively, how this is going to create jobs. And so, what is the bigger picture of the national resistance movement when it comes to the issue of ICT, innovators, and science in general, let's say from 2026 to 31 in these next 5 years?
Now we are training our young people in electronics. I've sent some to some countries, they have come back. Of course, nobody has eaten computers. People are still eating food, cassava, gogo, bananas. Even the ones in Europe, they eat bread. So the computers are important, but they are an efficient means to quickly get you a solution. When I use a calculator, I quickly get the figure. But if I was to add the other long hand, is it a long one? The way we used to add, arrange like this, and then you, very cumbersome. So electronics make things efficient. Like we in the army, we used to have what we call distance estimation. If I'm going to shoot you, I need to estimate your distance and adjust the gun sight to that distance. And in the past, it was not easy to judge distance. So sometimes they would say, if you can see somebody's eyes clearly, that means you are so many meters away. If you can't see the eyes, that means you are this. It was vague. But these days, you have got a laser beam, goes out, hits the target you are talking about, and comes back and tells you the distance, automatically like that. So this computerization has made work efficient. Yes, we still have material science. You need cement to build a house. You're not going to use computers to build a house. You need cement. You need mtaimbwa. You need food. you need, but computer helps you to do things quickly. It is a capacitator. It facilitates things to move fast. But there must be things to move fast. So don't get lost, don't get, because this is phenomenon what happens to Africa. They come with a wave, oh, they go with that one. So when I've been hearing about computers, you be careful. Have you eaten computers? If you have not yet eaten computers, don't forget muhogo now. Don't abandon the cassava and say that they are now computers. Please. Keep muhogo. Let's use the computers to show us how we can more efficiently grow cassava, but not abandon it. Okay.
Your Excellency, our request with your permission, a few colleague journalists had questions which the coordination is being made before your final message. If maybe a few could be asked, and then you'll be able to deliver your final message.
Let's have a total of 6, no more than 6.
Okay, sir.
3 boys and 3 girls.
Okay. We'll start with Joseph Odama. Joseph, please use that microphone.
Your Excellency, thank you for having us here. My name is Odama Joseph. I work with UBC Television based in Westnile. One of your main points in your campaign is wealth creation. And wealth creation based on the PDM program that you have initiated in the few years ago. But it has been faced with challenges. And one of the challenges is the population that an area like a parish inhibits, in the sense that a bigger population will not be able to benefit from the 100 million given yearly. To that reference, some of the leaders in Westnile have been asking you to, if possible, grant more administrative units, although there's a ban on the creation of new administrative units. What commitment do you have to relay to the people of Westnile? Arua City is the center of business in Westnile, maybe second also to Kampala, and it is the center for aviation. We can see Arua Airfield, which is in the plans of government for elevation to an airport. People have been asking us when we are doing interviews outside your pavilion in the centers where you have been going for your campaigns. They have been demanding that if through you in this campaign you can make a commitment for elevation of Arua Airfield to an international airport, may you have a say about some of these too. Thank you.
You see what I need to warn you against is touching too many things in planning. It's very dangerous when people touch so many things. Me, I am a bushman, and the way we survived was prioritization. You must prioritize among priorities. And you need to give me another medal. You have already given me some medals, but you could add another one. Because in 2005, I saw the danger. And after the election of 2006, I called the NRM people in the statistics house. I said, you people you are going to get a crisis. There was already a crisis of, do you remember load shedding, electricity which was not there? So I persuaded them to put more money on the roads, more money on electricity. You can check how much money by 2010, how much money we are putting on the roads and how much we are putting on electricity compared to water. For instance, water was getting less money. Is it because I didn't believe water was a priority? Yes, water is a priority, but if you can't do everything at a go, if you don't have the money, why don't you choose what you can start with? Now, the reason I chose the roads and electricity was that in order to get out of poverty, we need more factories here. And what will bring factories more? Water or electricity? Electricity is the one which will bring factories and the roads. So yes, water is very important, but in order to move by bringing investors here, electricity was more needed. And the roads more needed. So when we are talking, like for instance, talk about the airfield, yes, we shall do the airfield. But what do we start with? Do we start with the, like for instance, the road from Nebi? I hear from Nebi to Goli to Zombo, I hear the road is not good. So what do we do now? Do we start with that road, or do we leave it and do the airport? Yeah, because the road means agriculture. It's not that the airport is not important, but if you don't have enough money to do all, what do you do? If you can do all, good. But if you can't, you must prioritize. But the airport, we shall do it. We shall do it. We can even use the private sector, like the Chidepo Airport. We are using the private sector to build it. Chidepo Airport, big airport. Okay.
Thank you. Richard. Please try to stick to your question as much as possible. And remember, be brief, and it's one question per person.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Richard Drasmapu. I work for Westnile News. It is a website. Your Excellency, one of the issues that has been unsettling the people, especially the farming community in Yumbe and Moyo, around the border with South Sudan, has been insecurity caused by armed people crossing and disputing the border. And in your messages to the people in 2016, during the campaigns, you promised that this issue will be resolved with the counterparts from across. So people are wondering up to this time when this issue will be permanently resolved so that they can do production peacefully along the border. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I will check the latest, but I discussed with President Salva Kiir, and the team is supposed to be moving along the border, but I will check. Next time when I'm in Adjumani, I will talk about it. I will have got information.
Robert Adiga.
Those are how many? 4?
This is the
This is
third
the third
question.
question.
This is the
The third, sir.
third.
Yes, sir.
So we are now going to the women, to the girls.
Yeah, thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Robert Adika. I work with Vision Group. I'm based in Arua. My question is, given the overwhelming support that has been demonstrated by the people of West Nile towards the national resistance movement, when you look at the patterns of elections from 1996, where the NRM attained about 35% to about 68% in 2021, and also the overwhelming support that we are witnessing in the current rallies. The concern over the years has been that the region has failed to catch up with the rest of the country, both in terms of not being fully recognized as a region of its own, and also in terms of the political and civic appointments. So is there an assurance, given that now the region is fully the home of NRM?
No, I also we can select leaders from Arua, from West Nile. At one time, I appointed Dr. Drico, second deputy prime minister, Dr. Drico. So appointments, I don't think appointments or administration is the issue. I've told you that image which I gave you of the Mnyankore man who was showing the cows and so on. It's very far from the roads. Many of those people don't even know where the district is. They are not bothered. What they are bothered with is peace, so that they have reach where they are supposed to reach. So, what is crucial for West Nile is awakening by the population to know where wealth comes from. And this is the message of the NRM of wealth creation. Once they pick that, whether West Nile is a region or not a region, the homes will be moving. When I moved to Rajtura in 1967, the district was in Mbarara. Ankole was one district. So when I hear, oh, there's a new district called Chirugura, very good. But my cows are not affected. I'm not bothered with those, whether the district is at Mbarara or at Chirugura or where. My cows go in the morning, come back in the evening. None of those has changed anything. So really, you spend time so much on the administration, the what, but I would want you to focus on the economy, on the wealth creation of your homes, of your families.
Peace.
At one time, those people in my area there were fighting over a bishop. Oh, they should have more bishops, what. Me, I told them that I'm not bothered whether there's a bishop nearby or far away. As long as he can come and confirm my grandchildren once in a while. I don't mind whether he's here or in Mbarara. But people spend a lot of time on those. Yet what's really crucial for the family is really wealth for the family. Okay, now those were the boys. You have 3 girls?
I so far have 2. Peace Victoria.
That's enough.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Peace Victoria Yotaru. I work with UBC Westnile. Over the years, we've seen industrial actions from teachers to nurses to doctors. And recently, for the past 1 month, the teachers have been for the industrial actions. This is greatly affecting learning in schools. Is there a way this can be addressed, maybe through minimum wage to the civil servants? Thank you, Your Excellency.
That's a trap. You see, the body is very important. Body is a complete unit. Each part playing a role. The muscles, the eyes, all of them important. The legs, the chest. But you must decide what kills the person. And we in karate, because in my long journey of doing things, I had to train in karate also. When you are protecting the body, you protect certain parts. The whole body is yours. There is no part of the body which is not yours or which is not important. But the karate people said, if you are hit on the arm, you will survive. If you are hit on the leg, you will survive. They are all yours. But it's what the Wanyakweli call a cheeto, where somebody strikes you and you die. And those places are known. So therefore, even when you are talking of salaries, there are parts of the public service that are so crucial for the economy now to move, to keep moving. It doesn't mean they are the most important. It means they are the most needed now. Now, I like to give the example of the Salute Flying School. That school was about to close because of this blindness, of not knowing what is needed now and what can be handled later. Salute Flying School, the most important people there are the pilots, the instructors. The aircrafts are there, but they need instructors. But those people there in Salute Flying School, they were insisting on the administrators, the clerks, the secretaries, the sweepers. That when you are sweeping near a professor, you are like a professor. The sweeper is a sweeper. So they would want to make salary scales to cater for all those. And they didn't have enough money. So the school was about to close because they were paying pilots 1 million what? A pilot in the airline is earning 25 million. And they are paying him 1 million here. Because you wanted to equate him with the sweeper, with the secretary, with human resources. There's something called human resource. Have you heard of that one? That is human resource. Yes, those people are there, but what we need in Salute Flying is a pilot, an engineer of the aircraft. Let's start with those. Because for them, if you don't treat them well, they will go and get other jobs. And the jobs are there waiting for them in other countries. But the one of history, if he doesn't get a job here, he may not get it elsewhere. Because there are very many arts people. So therefore, the pressure to, you are talking about minimum wage about what? You are talking about repeat your question. No, the other one.
Your Excellency, I was talking about minimum wage for the civil servants.
Yes. Because now what we do, we need, where do you come from?
From Arua.
Arua where?
Aivu.
If you are lucky, everything is here now. Is there somebody from Madi Okoro? Or from Zombo? Where are you from?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I'm from Zombo. The sub-county is called Jangokoro.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now what do we do? What's your name?
My name is Dennis Oringi. I work for One Law TV under Vision Group.
Oringi, like the former minister?
Yeah.
Was he a relative?
Not really. But we are all allowed speaking to him.
Oringi. Now, what do we do now? Because daughter is proposing that we give more money to the civil servants. But I need to do Nebi, Gori, Zombo, Paida, Vora Road. So what do we do now?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. When you started your speech, you started by talking about the education and human capital development. I think the road needs human beings to work on and to use. So therefore, the two, human capital development and the road, they're all very important, and we cannot ignore any.
Now, Mr. Zombo, don't mix me up. Because the human capital you are talking about, like me, who studied literature, I'm a literature man. I can quote for you Shakespeare. What Shakespeare said, where he said it, now. But we need a road engineer to deal with Mr. Zombo's road. So the human capital we need is exactly, when I increased the salaries of the scientists, I was dealing with the human capital that is needed at that time. But what some people are saying that pay well everybody. But we don't have the money to do that. To pay well everybody. So what do we do?
Yeah, thank you very much, Your Excellency. The engineer has gone to the same school that the art students are also studying in. And the engineer was not only taught the engineering work, but was also taught how to handle the people that he's going to work with. That does not even require maybe science alone. It also requires somebody who did art. Because you cannot work alone as an engineer. You need the person who is going to cook for you and also other people that they are supposed to help you see that that work is properly executed. Yes. Therefore, I think road and human capital development, they are very important.
If we can't pay all of them well, what do we do?
What we can do is we dwell on the human capital development first.
It is human capital, but which human capital? Which human capital? Because, yes, it's human capital, but which one now? If we don't If we have the money to pay all of them well, but what if we don't have? What do we do?
If we don't have the money, what we can do is we need to work on the road that leads these people to the schools that we have.
You need to what?
We need to work on the road that takes these learners to the school so that they become engineers in future.
Very
and to
good.
the market where they're going to get money to pay school fees and they become scientists.
So we start with the engineer of the road.
The road and then the engineer after.
But the road needs engineers.
We start with the available one. The available engineers that are already there.
Absolutely. So the Zomba has agreed with me. Oh yeah.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Okay, the other girl, 2 girls now.
We only have one. This is the last question, Your Excellency, from Edna.
Don't worry, you people. I'll come and quote for you Shakespeare.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I'm honored to be here. My name is Edna, PH. I work with Vision Group, and I am based in Nebi, but I also moved to Zumbu and Pakwach. Yes, I'm originally from Pakwach. This question is about the fishing community, Your Excellency. I am, like I said, I come from Pakwach. The cost of living is increasing each and every day just because the fishermen no longer have to go to the waters to fish. I was the other day on your first rally in Pakwach. They sought a meeting with you. That was the cultural institution leaders. And then you also suggested that the religious leaders meet you.
I met them.
Yes, so I wanted to know what was the outcome of that meeting, especially this attracts the suffering of the people. I move in that community. I do know what they go through most of their time. Then secondly, I know I may not have a chance to speak to you again. We came here as Westnile journalists, and so we are seeking to be given an opportunity, probably, to say a vote of thanks. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Okay. Now, I had a meeting with you see the issue of the fish. I'm the biggest trouble causer for the fish. Because when we came into government in 1986, there was not a single factory in Uganda processing fish. But the problem you have with me is that I've been around for a long time. So what you people call history, I call current affairs. So I remember that in 1958, from our school in Chamate, NSC, you know what NSC means? NSC, Chamate Native Anglican Church. That's what it was called. We were called NSC, we were called Native Anglicans, that we are Native Anglicans. We are local Anglican. So in 1958, I was in P6, and we went as part of a school expedition to the national park, Queen Elizabeth. And from there, we visited a fish processing facility on Lake George, known as Tafma. I don't eat fish. I don't eat fish. That was my first time to see fish nearby. So I saw it there. They were cutting fish and packing it and taking it. By the time we came into government, all that Tafma had collapsed long ago. So there was not a single fish processing plant in Uganda. So when I came into government, an Italian minister came to see me in Entebbe, just for a few days. And he said, "You, Mr. President, Italy has got money which was supposed to be given to Uganda, but because of the chaos, we didn't give it to anybody. I still have it. I still have the money. What do I do with it?" I said, "How much is it, Mr. Minister?" He said, $20 million. I said, "Can you build me a fish factory?" I asked him, without a study, without anything, but I was sure fish was there. So the Italians built Museveni fish processing plant in Jinja. Oh, that's when people knew there was money in fish, because of that factory. Then the factories rushed there, 22 of them. Then those people, the people of the girl, "What are your people?" The other girl was asking. She's Ivy.
She comes from Waivu, sir.
Huh?
Jonam? From Pakwach.
She's from Pakwach.
Yes, the Jonam.
So your people, now they all rush there. Now the problem you have is that even in Nambole Stadium, there's a limit how many people can go there. And once that limit is reached, they close the gates, say, "Please, no more. Otherwise people will die." But with fishing, there's no limit. Everybody wants to go and fish. And what has happened, they have destroyed the fishing industry. They were about to destroy it. So when I met the traditional leaders here, they agreed with me. They know, for them they know. So what I told them in Jinja and here when I met them was, "You people, don't you have traditional fishing communities?" They are there. Why don't we make them our custodians of the lakes, so that we support them, and then they can guide us on how to handle the lake. And people seem to agree with what I was saying. That, and when we were in Jinja with the same fishing people, a woman from Buvuma talked in Luganda of Omujuzo. Omujuzo is when there's too many people in one place, or too much water or anything. So, my granddaughter, how can we control that Omujuzo in fishing, so that we have got a few people who are licensed, and the reason they are licensed must be clear. Don't you think it would be better for the fish industry? Because if you don't control the numbers, are you not going to destroy it?
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Yes, I do agree with that. We need to ensure that we have the right numbers on the waters.
But what's your name?
My name is Edna PH.
Edna who?
PH.
PH, sir. PH.
P?
PH.
P.
What are the letters?
PIYIC.
Or PH?
Yes.
So PH with me, with Museveni, they are together now.
But Your Excellency.
Once we agree on the numbers, that even nobody gets filled, then there's no more. Because that's what I'm after.
But Your Excellency, as we do that, we also need to get an alternative for the fishermen.
Hey!
Yes.
You can get them, but I want to do fish. You saw my video? I showed you my fish farm in Lango.
Yes, Your Excellency.
You can do fish farming. You can do fish farming. You can do other things. This is not a problem at all. As far as the fish is concerned, in the lake, what is crucial now is to save the fishing stock, not destroy the breeding what do you call them, areas of the fish, and not overfish, and have a few licensed people because of some criteria who fish and sell to the others and also to the factories.
Thank you, Your Excellency. But also, in Pakwach itself, if we are to talk about alternatives, if we are to go to agriculture, maybe, leave alone what you've said about fish farming, the soils only favor particular crops. And so the people of Pakwach are not as privileged as other people in other districts. So, and also the Westnile irrigation scheme, it's not yet, they've not completed constructing it. And so the waters from the irrigation canals go to people's gardens. They go to people's gardens, they spoil their gardens, spoil the roads, people's homes. Actually, currently, some people are even homeless.
Where?
In Westnile. Westnile sub-county, Ragem sub-county. That is what is happening, Your Excellency.
I'd love to send you people, tell the Prime Minister to go there, my staff, get information from that lady. PPS, get information from the Prime Minister will come there and see.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
But PH with Museveni now, they have agreed on the numbers. The numbers must be controlled. But what I'm told is that, because when I went to Sese, to Kalangala, the indigenous people had been overrun by people from other areas, from Congo, from Somalia. They come and take over the fish. So they are the ones overfishing actually. Is that true, PH? Have you seen it in Pakwach?
Yes, Your Excellency. In the areas of the sub-county, that is the sub-county that borders the DR Congo. Yes, that happens. But in the inner Pakwach, that is within Pakwach Town Council, Panigoro, Pakwach Sub-County, Panyango, I've not seen that happening.
But there are some foreigners in some areas.
Yes, but only at the border. That is when they are more visible. Probably they're also inside, but they do it in hiding, Your Excellency.
Okay, but we have agreed on the most important, the numbers.
True, Your Excellency.
Once we agree on that, then, because that's what is rational. How many people should be licensed to be here and why? Finish. And the science of protecting the fisheries, the breeding centers, once we agree on that, then we are together. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We're coming to the end of the broadcast, and I would request if there's any key message which we may not have asked in our questions, as a final message. This is time for the rallies. It's time for to canvass for votes. You may give that message, and then, of course, we will allow the radios to also translate the messages in the different local languages.
No,
Welcome, sir.
the main message is homestead incomes and education for all. The rest, the government is already doing. The roads, the schools, the government is doing them. But the one which has been lagging behind is the one of homestead incomes. And by the way, if you don't solve homestead incomes, even the roads we are talking about, how will you do them? Because remember, government uses taxes to get revenue to do all this, the roads, the health centers, the what. But when people don't have incomes, when people are poor, first of all, they don't buy products from the shop. They don't buy cement. They don't buy textiles. They don't buy sugar. And yet if they are buying, you will find they don't buy soap, they don't buy perfumes for the wives. And when you buy, there's a tax on the items you buy. So in other words, a rich consumer is actually contributing to the budget of the roads. Those beer drinkers are the most useful people. Because each beer has got a tax on it. So the more beer they drink, the more revenue we will get. But if you have got families which don't have any income, which therefore don't contribute to the development of the country, how will you manage? How will you manage? So that's why we say, please, seek ye first the kingdom, seek ye first homestead incomes, the rest will be added unto you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for the message. Indeed, like you say, they shall be known by their fruits. And so you clearly explained the fruits of the NRM government. And as you seek another mandate for the coming election cycle. We'd like to thank the listeners so much. Now we'll allow also the radios to translate this message that you have delivered to the people of the region particularly. And thank you so much. We will leave it here for now.
Thank you.